As COVID-19 cases rise in South Dakota to new record highs, Governor Kristi Noem has been on the campaign trail for President Donald Trump. Just this week, she made stops in Nebraska, New Hampshire, and Maine.
As KELOLAND News reported last week, some of those trips have benefited Governor Noem's own campaign, which has raised about $852,000. A large portion of that money came from people and organizations in South Dakota.
But she's also bringing in money from out of state for her campaign. Tonight, KELOLAND's Angela Kennecke shows you what we've been able to discover about Noem's travels for the month of October.
My first step in covering this story was to ask for Governor Noem's official calendar. That request was first ignored by her office. I then made an official public records request and was told by a governor's office attorney that calendars or logs of appointments of public officials are not subject to South Dakota public records law. However, Governors Janklow, Rounds, and Dugard all put out a weekly public report of their schedules as governor. While the following is not a complete picture of how Governor Noem has spent the last month, it's what we've been able to compile from various news coverage of her appearances in other states, as well as social media posts.
Good evening. I'm Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota.
Following her appearance at the GOP National Convention in late August, Governor Kristi Noem kicked off a multi-state campaign tour as an official surrogate for President Donald Trump's re-election campaign. The governor's office says Noem's travel expenses are mostly paid for with Trump campaign funds. In some cases, Republican Party funds are used for some of the trips, as well as money from the governor's campaign funds. According to Noem's latest campaign finance report last week, $51,677 went for travel. In September, we know Governor Noem made campaign stops in Ohio, Iowa, Oregon, and Michigan. She kicked off October in Hudson, Wisconsin. The following week, she was a featured speaker at AmFest, which was held at a Trump resort in Miami. During the weekend of October 10th, Governor Noem was part of the Women for Trump bus tour in Minnesota.
It gives them an opportunity to come ask questions, hear some of our thoughts, and to really help make their decision before they get to election day.
Then she returned to South Dakota for a news conference October 13th to update the investigation into the fatal crash involving Attorney General Jason Ravnsborg. That's when KELOLAND News asked her about spending so much time out of state as we hit record numbers of COVID-19 cases.
If we do not focus on the election as well, and President Trump is not in office, there are consequences to that for our state of South Dakota. We will be back facing regulations. We will be back looking at a lot of the challenges we saw going after waters of the U.S., OSHA regulations that cost our businesses money. The tax reform will be undone. South Dakotans will have less money in their pockets.
A couple of days later, Noem took off for New Hampshire, where a Trump campaign staffer tweeted that she was talking to a fired-up crowd at our NH Trump Victory Field office.
We're going to be truthful here and just have a candid conversation. You all have to admit that 6 months ago you had no idea who I was. Right? You've never heard of Kristi Noem before.
On October 18th, Veterans First Foundation tweeted out this YouTube video of Noem with political operative and 2016 Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski.
I came to New Hampshire for one specific reason. I have never left South Dakota really to campaign for any other candidates. I don't travel the country on a normal basis.
Noem went on to tell the audience about how she was under attack by the media.
All the national news and even the media in the state of South Dakota told me literally that my decisions were wrong all the time, every day, and just were merciless in how they attacked me.
Noem said South Dakota is getting it right when it comes to addressing the pandemic.
We today in South Dakota, and since the very beginning, never talked about how many cases of COVID-19 that we have. We don't focus on that. What I told the people of the state, said the science says that we can't stop the virus. We know we can't stop it. Fauci told me, from all of his models and expertise and insight and wisdom, that on my worst day I'd have about 10,000 people in the hospital. The most I've ever had is about 300.
A little more than a week later, that number has grown to more than 400 hospitalized. On October 19th, Noem was in Wisconsin with John Godwin of Duck Dynasty fame for a clay shoot and barbecue luncheon. That same evening, Noem supporters in Dallas, Texas held a fundraising reception for her, which started at $1,000 to attend and went as high as $8,000 per couple. The next Noem trip we know about coming up is the Lincoln Day dinner in Palm Beach. According to the website, Noem is the featured speaker at the Winter White House, Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in Florida. We have repeatedly asked Governor Noem for an on-camera interview to address her extensive travels and fundraising, as well as her response to rising COVID-19 cases and her views on the need to wear masks. Noem's communication director, Ian Fury, replied to my latest request via Twitter for an interview by saying, "We don't reward reporters who are incapable of reporting basic facts."
Now, we also asked Governor Noem's office about getting her work done for the state with such an extensive travel schedule. Noem's office says she is able to work from anywhere.